and welcome back to Weekly Buying Tips. I'm Dean Berman from Berman Buys. Happy New Year to everybody out there. It's an exciting year to be in 2021. Yes, a lot of unknowns, but quietly optimistic about this year. I think there's going to be a lot of good things happen in the property space. Today I wanted to make an interesting video, more environmental, on something that I started looking into in more detail during my time off, which is carbon offsetting, and looking into measuring my own carbon footprint, i.e. how many emissions I emit per year through the business, etc. And there's a term called tons per carbon dioxide equivalence, which is effectively the accounting standard unit of measurement, whereby you can actually work out and then figure as to how much you emit per year based on what you do in your daily life. And I went through this process myself, which has not been audited, so it's not a validated figure. However, I just wanted to start the process and sort of wet my beak per se as to where I roughly sit, and I came up with a rough figure. And based on that, I've offset my carbon emissions per annum through a company called Greenfleet, which seems to do some really cool native reforestation in Australia and New Zealand. And I think they do great work, so I wanted to support them in that process. But more so, I just wanted to talk about this tons of carbon emissions that we all sort of emit per year, and what are these carbon emissions I'm talking of? Well, everything that we do basically, to some degree, has some sort of carbon footprint or emission associated. Be it driving in a car, be it turning on the lights, be it using our computers. These all emit some degree of carbon emissions because they're largely fueled by fossil fuel, which creates these emissions. So the point of measuring these emissions is, I guess, on one hand, to understand, number one, how much you emit. But then once you actually understand how much you emit, then you're actually in a position to say, okay, I emit X amount per year, therefore I can offset it against these carbon offsetting tools that are out there. And or on the other hand, you could reduce. For example, if you drive a lot, maybe you don't drive as much, or maybe you find alternate means of transportation, a bicycle or walking or whatever else. And these are active ways to I guess make you more environmentally aware, and at the same time enable you to take your own initiatives as to reduce your own footprint on the environment and the whole climate change topic. So I found this quite interesting, and I found it an interesting process in going through. And there's a few companies that do these offsetting credits, offsetting, I guess you call them tools of credits. Just wanted to have a chat to you guys about that, and just say Happy New Year. Hope you have a great start to the year. I've already seen the property market is starting to kick back into place. A lot of the agents are starting to, a lot of them have already come back. Some of them are still coming back over the next week or two. Certainly listings are going to start picking up, and certainly starting to see some new things day by day pop up in the market and off market, etc. So have a great weekend, and lovely talking.